Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about an important topic in modern web security and API authentication. That is JSON Web Tokens or JWT. In a world where applications are increasingly distributed across multiple platforms, mobile apps, web clients, microservices, and cloud APIs, they all maintain secure, stateless, and scalable authentication mechanisms. And maintaining this has become critical. JWT has emerged as one of the most popular solutions for this purpose. Let's start with a simple question. What happens when you log into a website? When you enter your username and password, the server verifies your credentials. If they are correct, the server needs a way to remember that you are logged in so that you don't have to keep entering your password on every single page. Traditionally, this was done using session-based authentication, where the server creates a session ID and then stores it in a database or memory. The client receives a cookie with that ID, and every time the client makes a request, the server checks the session ID and identifies the user. Now, this approach works, but it has one limitation, which is scalability. If the application runs on multiple servers or in the cloud, synchronizing session data across them can become complex. And this is where JWT comes in. JWT allows authentication to be stateless, meaning all the required information is stored within the token itself and not on the server. A JSON Web Token is a compact, URL-safe way of representing claims securely between two parties, which is typically a client and a server. It's called JSON because the data inside the token is written in JavaScript object notation, and Web Token because it's designed for use in web environments. A JWT comprises of three parts: header, payload, and signature, and each part is separated by a dot. The header contains metadata about the token, that is the type of token, and the algorithm used for signing. Payload contains the actual data known as claims. To ensure the token hasn't been tampered with, a signature is created, and which is the last part. The header and payload are encoded using base64 URL encoding and concatenated. Then they are signed using a secret key or a private key. This digital signature verifies both the authenticity and integrity of the token. Now, this is a typical process that flows. So, the user logs in with valid credentials. The server verifies them and generates a JWT embedding user information like ID or role in the payload. JWT is signed using the server's secret key and sent to the client. Client stores the token, usually in local storage or a cookie. For every subsequent request, the client sends the token in the authorization header as a bearer token. Server verifies the token signature using its secret key. If valid and not expired, the server processes the request. You can see that the server does not need to maintain the session data. And this is what makes JWT stateless and scalable. So what are the advantages of JWT? Stateless authentication, scalability, compact and portable, decentralized trust, and cross-domain support. Now, although JWTs are powerful, they must be implemented carefully to avoid vulnerabilities. Never store sensitive data in the payload. Always use HTTPS. Set proper expiration times. Never issue tokens that live forever. Use secure algorithms. Revoke tokens when needed. And validate the signature and claims. JWTs are used widely in API authentication, verifying API requests in REST or GraphQL. Single sign-on, allowing one login for multiple applications. Microservices communication securely passing identity across services. OAuth 2.0 authorization, where JWT forms the basis for access and ID tokens in OAuth and OpenID Connect. While JWTs are efficient, they are not perfect. Token revocation is difficult once issued. Large tokens can slow down network performance if used excessively. If the secret key is leaked, all the tokens become compromised. And that's why JWT should always be paired with best practices. HTTPS, short expiration, and careful key management. To summarize, JSON Web Tokens or JWT provides a robust, stateless, and scalable way of handling authentication and authorization in web applications. They allow clients and servers to communicate securely without storing session data, which makes them ideal for today's distributed systems. However, as with any security technology, the key lies in proper implementation. Misconfiguration or ignoring best practices can quickly turn a secure system into a vulnerable one. So when you design authentication systems, remember JWT is a tool and not magic. Use it wisely and it can make your applications both secure and efficient. So this is a basic introduction on JWT, what it is, the advantages, the best practices, and the process flow. So until we meet next time, stay safe.